Welcome everybody. Welcome
How's it
everybody.
going?
We heard, hey Camille, we heard a little bit of the birthday song you made for your daughter that I will play throughout the session. Um,
Yeah, I thought it would be a cool way to start it off. But yeah, I mean, Suno, which is the AI app behind it, they came out with a version 4. And what it does is it increases the fidelity of the songs that you can create. It's also much faster in the creation process. And the cool thing also is that you can remaster your own tracks with a click of a button. So, but yeah, why don't you go ahead and do your thing?
no, for sure. And I think that of course I left my phone. Do you hear the phone behind me or no?
No.
Okay, good. Suno and Udio I was speaking about this week because it's almost like we got very deep into them right when they came out, but then I think I got past them and I was creating some songs for my friend and her daughter and then their family Thanksgiving and it was something we've been playing with Tatiana and I. So, interesting, right? I think that as we're so deep into AI, these things kind of come and go, but God, they're adding so
Right.
much value in a lot of cases.
Yeah, and it's fun to come back to it when they make another step improvement. Well, I've been actually using AI, music, generative music AI, in a way where whenever I need a track for a video that I'm editing, I just create it on the spot, so I don't have to worry about copyright strikes. I do subscribe to some of those platforms that actually let you license their music, but even with those, the one that I pay for, you end up getting copyright strikes sometimes, and it's so annoying because then you have to go back and forth, and this makes it just much easier and quicker also, because you can literally describe what you want to hear. And in most cases, when you know how to prompt it, it turns out pretty good.
Totally. And and I think some of these smaller companies, I know somebody was complaining about Visla, have putting in music that's getting dinged for copyrights, or they put something they
Right.
created on Visla up, they're getting knocked off. Um, yeah, so I think some of the big, some of them are tied to bigger companies, some are smaller companies. I did forget to tell you I have a call with Gamma's design team today.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Love Gamma.
yeah, so I mean, and
What
I'll get
time is that? I would love to be on there.
you want to join? Okay, yeah,
I don't know if
12:30.
I can. I have a couple of
Okay.
meetings, but yeah.
I'm going to invite you into it. It's at 12:30 my time, 3:30 yours.
Okay.
So you're welcome to join me on that. Haven't even given you the download on what we did for about my call with MIT, but that's good stuff happening. So I'll share that with
That's
you.
awesome. We'll
Where
have
do
some
we
news to
want to
share.
totally? Where do we want to start, Camille? I'd love for you to. I know we did just touch on the music, but
Yeah, if you just want to go through the feed so we can review the week and I can touch up on everything that I talked about. Obviously, there's been way more happening in AI. Maybe I'll get to that, but we kind of have to focus somehow on
yeah.
something. So
Well, look,
yeah.
I think the thing is you have your amazing AI in 60 seconds session. You have all this great content you've been doing. So we kind of help everybody say, God, I don't have, hours and hours to dig into your content, even though I did listen to most of your hour-long session just on building an app yesterday. But
Oh
let's
yeah.
get to it.
I mean, in general, I try to keep, the complex simple and
Yeah,
entertaining. So I play around with some Heian avatars here and there. I'm sure we'll see
yeah.
that in a moment.
No,
So
but that
yeah.
was good. All right, I'm going to share. Okay. And if you want to take us through, should we start with
Yeah,
Pokemon?
what's this? Which one is this? This is oh, okay. So this is Pokemon Go. We don't have to play it. I can just mention it. So basically last week it wasn't a scandal really, but I kind of made it like this in the video. And a lot of people are surprised, even though apparently some of the people say that they've agreed to this and they were totally fine with it, which is, back in 2016, we had Pokemon Go, this craze where people were just going absolutely nuts. And a lot of the people didn't know that the app is collecting your data and then basically turning this whole data set into a platform for very powerful AI backbone now that is owned by the company of Pokemon Go. So I thought that was kind of interesting on a practical way how you can see how our data is being harnessed in today's world. So they had
Yes.
traffic data, they had like walking data, any type of behavior, because as soon as you allow the app to access some of your sensors on your phone, it can pretty much figure out whatever the developers wanted to figure out, right?
Yeah. Right. So I guess remember, nothing is free is what we want to say
Nothing
to
is free,
AI,
yes.
I think. Um,
This one, this was interesting because there was a story, it was a viral Reddit post where apparently the developer was, late in the night coding, and then he felt kind of like some tightness around his chest and all that type of stuff. He just out of fun, he kind of asked ChatGPT what that might have been, and then instead of giving it general advice like go to sleep, the ChatGPT actually started asking more questions, and then insisted on the guy getting some immediate
And
medical
all that
attention.
type of
When he
stuff.
then wound up just
In
out of
the
fun, he kind of asked, oh, I can hear when he ended up in the hospital, the doctors actually told him that it's good that he came up there because about an hour later, we would have had a very different conversation if he didn't act on it. So he basically avoided a heart attack thanks to ChatGPT. Now, obviously, and we know that from WebMD or maybe like Googling your symptoms, it's always like a easy way to fall into a rabbit hole. The highlight here is really not that ChatGPT is replacing your doctor just yet, but it gave that guy the impulse to take the symptoms a little bit more serious than he would have without it. So I think that was a cool story.
that's pretty incredible, Camille, right? And I don't know. So have you thought about maybe doing a C a CPT, a GPT, like that would help people? Because look, it's seconds. Yes, you're not going to use that to replace your doctor, but the bottom line is you run up the stairs, you feel different than you normally do. Having that chat GPT, having that GPT there, or even, if you're wearing one of the friend necklaces or something like that, may be a great thing to do.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's a lot of opportunity, but I think the biggest opportunity is really to, and that's the next post, really get people an education on what AI can do for you. And in this post, because then you can just talk to it like that developer did, right? And I think that that solves 90% of the problems. And so in this post here, I'm talking about basically making a point out of teaching AI to seniors because I can see that there's a lot of opportunity for them to, improve their quality of life, maybe their health, maybe their cognitive performance in that age. And there's a lot of fun that they can have with it and combat maybe even things like loneliness, believe it or not. And I'm actually writing a book on that. I'm trying to push it out and kind of make the topic a little bit more mainstream, and I would love to hear feedback on what I should talk about in the book. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, I mean that would be good because I've been helping. I've got my mom totally into Claude and she's using it, and I'm supporting her with that. My dad, a couple years older, maybe not as tech savvy, but you're right. I just see so much there. And I think that's something I'd like to dig in a little deeper to as we move forward and really get some seniors here. And then one thing I was
Yeah.
thinking too, should we be calling it AI? Do people hear AI and think, oh, I've got to be a, computer scientist or
Yeah.
so?
Yeah, that's a good idea. There's a little bit of a stigma to it, depending on who you ask.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely. I could elaborate on that, but I don't want
right.
to drag it on for sure. It's definitely, I like the topic. I think we should get back to it every once in a while.
Yeah, no, let's do it. And we'll start working with some seniors. I know you're
Yeah,
working with a
for
neighbor.
sure.
I'm gonna get my dad going, so we'll report
Yeah.
back. Now, I love the tarot card reader.
Yeah,
Um,
not just you, man. So apparently, you know how I think it was like 8 months ago when ChatGPT opened up the GPT store. Maybe it was longer ago. I don't know, where you could basically code or program your own type of GPTs that have a very specific function and maybe a custom knowledge base. So one of the GPTs that I built back then was a tarot card GPT because I thought it would make sense. And here you can also see in the videos, I'm kind of making it entertaining where I generate my own image as a robot tarot card reader. And so apparently my ChatGPT Tarot Reader or Tarot GPT, if you look at it, um, it had over 10,000 conversations. I just this week I actually enabled the feedback function, and now I'm getting feedback emails from people. I wish I would have had that from the beginning. I would have loved to hear people's feedback, but I never got anywhere. Anyway, so that's a fun way to see how you can interact with AI because I have a custom knowledge base on how to put those cards, what the cards mean, 3 card spread, 5 card spread, all these types of things. So it's a little bit more structured than just if you asked, ChatGPT straight on. You could probably do that and get an 80% similar result, but on this one, it's like a very structured way. It asks you for a purpose or a question that you want to have answered. Then you draw, and then it draws the cards for you. And at the end, it gives you an analysis of the drawing, and it even creates a custom image for you that is, based on what you discovered. So
That's
people really
amazing.
like it.
And that's all through creating a GPT. I guess it's tapping into Dolly or something for the images.
Yes, you can. When you create a custom GPT, you can give it certain abilities like accessing the internet now, creating images, and I think there was something else. I forgot the third one. But
But
yeah,
can you integrate APIs from different like graphic services, or does it all kind of have to stay within the OpenAI?
I this so this has been done. This GPT has been done via the end user interface, so directly in a chat window on the sidebar. There is a way to create assistants, which are extended type of GPTs that run on the API from OpenAI in the backend. That's where you find the playground and all these types of things. I haven't dabbled with that extensively, especially in the last couple of months.
Nice. No, I
Yeah.
love that, Camille, and I just think that's outstanding. Now, I know let's see, what was this next one?
So
So I was
this is a little bit of a, dark news. That's why the red hue on my face also. So this week, Mark Andreessen was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I think it was a 3-hour podcast. But one of the things that shocked me the most is what I'm talking about in this video, is that the federal government was actually or is debanking people that are in the wrong industry because they want to consolidate certain type of industries to just a few big companies so that they can be controlled with regulatory capture. And the way they do it is, like I said, they're debanking the founders. I heard that a lot from the crypto space. It's, for example, also very difficult to have just start a new bank. And then also what Andreessen said, specifically in the AI development for startups, for AI startups, essentially the government told him that, yeah, don't even think about it. We only want to control the few companies that are big, and we don't want any competition. We don't want it to be like a broad development. So that was kind of shocking. And they do this specifically with debanking and basically forcing people to do something different with their life.
crazy. That's crazy. And look, I think another thing that this whole evolution of AI doing is keeping people accountable. Just so we can see clarity through the data, right? And tell stories and crazy times.
Yeah,
2025 is going to be amazing. Now, you mentioned
yeah,
the microwaving of the turkey. I
yeah.
know
So
this
this
is
is
kind of a
yeah,
joke, but
this was a joke,
there,
but I thought it would be a great example on how AI might give you a great answer, but it doesn't mean that was a good question to begin with. So I essentially asked it if I could microwave a 25-pound turkey and how long I should microwave it. And I do have to say, to ChatGPT's credit, it did say initially, I don't think that's a good idea. But let's say we go through this experiment and you can actually fit the turkey into the microwave. this is the precise cooking time, the power settings, and the step-by-step guide that it gave me. So, but the premise of this video is really the way you work with an AI is you can't just hang up your brain on the door and then just hope that it's going to do everything for you because it will answer it and it will answer your question with with a lot of what do you call it, conviction.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that it's good to answer to question to have those questions to begin with.
Right. Well, look, early in a lot of the driving applications, right? Turn left. People would fly off a bridge, right? And I think that's a great point. It did. I want to give a shout out to Percy Spencer, who was my friend Barry Spencer's grandfather, who invented the microwave oven because he had a chocolate bar
Mm,
in his pocket when they were testing lasers back at Raytheon in the 50s, I think. But anyway, that brought that to mind, Jamil. So I wanted to bring it up as we're approaching the holidays. And I think too,
yeah.
right? Songs you can create, newsletters for people, for your family, just communication in general. I think there's so much we can use for the holidays. But then what I
Yeah.
loved, Camille, was your turkey timer.
Yes. So
The
I took
H-
that. So yes, I did. So that first post from a minute ago, it kind of inspired me to do something maybe a little bit more interesting on Turkey Day. And hold on, yeah, that's a different one. If you click on the, actually, I think you have to. It's a YouTube video, so you have to just go to turkey dot
oh,
kbank.
turkey.kbank.com. Got
Yeah.
you.
And so what I did is I actually posted a video on YouTube, and I'm gonna link. I think yeah, and I posted the article that mentioned the video on LinkedIn as well, where I code this turkey timer from scratch, just using AI, not writing any code myself. And this is the end result. So you can see, well, first of all, I also generated some custom image for the background, as you can see. And there you see the turkey timer. If you scroll down a little bit more, you see that the turkey, as you put in the turkey weight, you move the slider as you just did. The turkey, the time on the bottom adjusted automatically to it, and you can also put in if it's fresh or frozen or stuffed or unstuffed. And then you hit the play button, and the timer gets started, and people can enjoy the turkey right after that. When you there's also a cool down time and all that type of stuff that gets triggered automatically. Obviously, you could have just asked ChatGPT how long does it take to you know, uh, cook my 20-pound turkey. But I thought it was a fun exercise just to show what's possible when it comes to development, even for a
That's
noob like me.
incredible.
And if you click the
I
play
love
button,
this.
it's gonna even explode with turkeys.
Okay, now I'm missing. Oh, the play button here.
Yeah,
You have a little sound there. I'm sure you programmed in.
yeah. Did you see the emoji? No, right? Didn't come out. Oh well,
No, I didn't see it,
it's
but I see
okay.
the turkey there. But look, I think for code, for HTML, I mean, I've been using it for some HTML and just email stuff. Again, which we talked about on past episodes, I think half the battle is remembering to use AI for things, right? And retrain ourselves almost.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So
that's true.
anyway, that's what we got for this week. Did I miss anything, Camille? I've been staying on top of
Um,
the amazing
no, I
stuff.
think that's. Oh, actually, there's one more thing. If you want to go back to yeah, there was a fun little thing, and that is last week I posted this big. I mean, it got a interesting reception. It was a short video about how VFX studios will be eradicated if they don't really adapt to to AI and include that into their workflows and are AI first, so to say, too. And so I had a little bit of pushback from so-called experts. The problem is with experts, and I used to be an expert for photography, for example. I love tech, I love gadgets, I love the latest and greatest stuff. However, oftentimes the market doesn't really care for the latest and greatest stuff. It just cares to be entertained or, fulfill its need in some form or shape. So I did post that video of Kanye West that he just released maybe like a day and a half ago, and it's basically his new music video, and it's pretty much 95% generated with AI. And I thought it was kind of a fun way to end the week.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let me play this and hear it. This is
Yeah,
it,
there
right?
you go. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we can play the music because we might get a copyright strike. I think you have to turn off the music, otherwise you get a copyright strike.
Turn it off.
The music, otherwise you might get a copyright
No, but I
strike.
think if it's on YouTube, we can't play it. All right, whatever. So we'll play
I'm
the
just saying, but all this stuff is AI generated, so
right. So
he's
now
just
Kanye
basing it.
West is using AI. Some may say that's scary that,
I mean, yeah, it depends on what you make out of it, right? You can make it just as cute if you want to, but I guess he just chose that style. I don't
yeah,
even know that song, but yeah.
interesting, crazy, just mega
Yeah.
ideas. And I think that's amazing. Camille, thank you so much for keeping us all on top of all this
Thank
really
you.
leading edge, right? As you've talked about, and you talked about at the summit, it's not about trying, it's good to, I think it's good to kind of look through some of these tools so you can expand your mind. Don't think you have to know about all the tools. Figure out what your goals are, but use our stretch goals because you see what's possible. And then we'll help you figure out what you can use to get there.
Right.
That's
Yep.
it. We'll be on a never ending. If not, you'll be trying to get your grasp of everything and nothing will get done.
That's true.
So
That's
thank you
true.
all. Have a great rest of your Thanksgiving weekend if you're in the States. I know other people celebrate the weekend from around the world, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.